Okay, so I breathe out and I let go of the energy, and so the reptilian entity I consider it I say a high level reptilian being. Um, some of the energy I immediately got was not to confuse the material world from the spiritual world. That the material world is still part of the spiritual world. The spiritual world that individuals are in before their incarnation, it's all the same thing. The material world was designed to be dense and lower frequency, lower astral, so spirits can come and incarnate, but all this was created in the spiritual world. So, the trees, the houses, everything we're living, this world we're living in was created in the spiritual world, and it was brought to a lower density, a lower frequency, so we could incarnate from a higher energy. So, in the spirit, what you say, the spiritual world or the astral realm, there still is physicality. So, like when somebody sees a ghost or an angel, the physicality might not be as dense as we're experiencing it here, but it's still the same thing. It's still physicality. So there's no real separation between the spiritual world, what we call the spiritual world, the other side or behind the veil, and what we're having right now. It's all the same thing. And so that's one of the first things the reptilian entity communicated to me. It said, stop viewing, the afterlife as being separate from what you're having. As I spoke several times about how a spirit can live in the spiritual world as long as it wants, then it comes into an incarnation for what? Somebody could live 100 years, and after the 100 years they go back to the spiritual world. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So then the reptilian was communicating to me some more information about how the Earth game works, and the reptilian was expressing to me that the reason why the reptilian found out who I was because the reptilian analyzes planetary consciousness. You have individual consciousness. I have my own consciousness. Then I have I have my own personal soul consciousness. Then I have a group soul consciousness, a collective group soul consciousness. Then, there's group soul consciousnesses branched together all over the planet. Then you have a planetary consciousness. And the reptilian was communicating to me that he was looking into the planetary consciousness of Earth, and he said there was an imbalance within the planetary consciousness. He said that my energy did not fit in the planetary consciousness, that the planetary consciousness could not sustain my energy. He said my energy compared to most humans was too large to be sustained in the planetary consciousness. So the reptilian said that my energy moved past planetary consciousness to galactic consciousness. The reptilian entity said that you're not operating solely on planetary consciousness. You're operating also on galactic consciousness, which is rare. Most humans aren't operating as strongly on a galactic consciousness. Most humans don't get as far out of planetary consciousness and the reptilian was communicating that to me. And so the reptilian said, because reptilian explained to me when beings in higher density see that, they have to assist it. There's certain beings who see this occurring and they have to assist it no matter what. So the reptilian communicated to the other reptilians, the high level reptilian communicated to the reptilians on Earth what was going on. And the reptilians on Earth are a part of assisting me in my expansions, in my growth. And so the kindness and compassion was very high. And the reptilian communicated to me that I was its favorite. Like literally, this is the energy that came through. The reptilian communicated to me that I was its favorite human, meaning through watching my growth and expansion. So the reptilian taught me about planetary consciousness, and after that, it graduated me to galactic consciousness, and then it was teaching me about the concept, or the principles of instant manifestation and being careful of what I do with my energy. The reptilian was expressing to me, it was saying, you have the ability to do a lot of things with your consciousness, but you don't have formal education on metaphysics. The energy that you have is very strong, but you don't have enough formal education on your energy. He said your energy is so strong, you can think something or do something, and you can get into an area of existence where you have instant manifestation, and if you're not sure how to balance this, you'll end up in realities that you don't want to be in. You'll end up experiencing stuff you don't want to deal with. So the reptilian entity was communicating to me how to navigate through my existence, through my creation on Earth, at the same time being a part of galactic consciousness. The galactic entities out in the cosmos pick up on humans who are more expanded. So that was one thing. And then the reptilian being was communicating to me that, let me see, what else was the reptilian being communicating to me? It was communicating to me that my consciousness was too sharp. My consciousness was too sharp to be, one of the things he communicated to me is he was saying, when I was younger, it was easier for other reptilians to influence my consciousness. But he was saying now that your consciousness has expanded so much to a galactic consciousness, your energy is too sharp now, and it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it for an individual or a group of individuals to suppress your energy anymore. He said most of the reptilian entities who are in the business of manipulating humans look at me as not even being worth it. Like, it's not worth it, just leave them alone. You know, and so that's what the reptilian entity was communicating to me. He was saying your energy is too sharp and your awareness is too high and you have too many galactic connections to other beings, that it's not even worth it for an entity to try to suppress you or hold you back. It'll never work. And that's one of the things he said to me, be careful about the individuals you go around in the public setting, because you don't want to interfere with the rituals of the other reptilians that are going on the planet. Like, not necessarily a bad thing, but don't go off. Don't get involved. Don't be a follower. Don't get involved with a group of people and try to change the group. Just do your work, and what you attract is what you attract. If you only have a few people to listen to, that's all you need. But don't go into a group of people and try to change anything, because you're going to interfere with the rituals of the other reptilians. And the reptilians, he was saying that the reptilians know who you are, and they don't want to hurt you, but they don't want you to interfere with their activities. So I was channeling on this reptilian, and this reptilian was giving me all this information, and the reptilian was communicating to me that I'm connected to this reptilian through my soul collective. And so the reptilian was appreciative of my work as a human being. He was saying that the reptilian, it was a male reptilian, was communicating to me that I'm at the level now where I don't even have to do anything. I don't even have to say anything. Just me existing is opening up other people's consciousness. Like it's a portal, like opening up other people's consciousness and awareness. And the reptilian was saying that, the reptilian was communicating to me. He was saying, your perception is getting so sharp. He was saying, you can pick up things. He was like, you can pick up things in an hour that most people wouldn't pick up in 20 years. He was saying, because I'm a veteran, I studied conspiracies for many years, and I used to figure things out, and I used to wonder, how can I figure this stuff out? And it used to scare me, because I used to be like, how am I figuring this stuff out? Like, like, what's going on? Like, I know what I'm figuring out is real. How am I figuring this stuff out? And the reptilian was explaining to me, you have the ability to discover things that it would take somebody else 20 years to figure out. You can figure it out. What you can figure out in 2 hours, it takes somebody 20 years. What you can figure out in a month, it would take what you can figure out in a month, it would take the public 100 years to figure out. And so the reptilian was communicating all this information to me for my own safety and awareness. He was saying, for my own safety and awareness. And the energy of the planet. So you have the planet Earth, and you have the planetary consciousness, and I could feel the energy of the reptilian coming into the planet and watching me and guiding me, like helping me get through obstacles and whatnot, like a safety type thing. So that's one of the things I'm working on is channeling. This stuff, I encourage people, if you never heard of channeling, just spend some time studying. Start out with parapsychology and just start studying. And then you start looking into other subjects on interdimensional beings, extraterrestrial beings. For some people, it'll never register. Like, they'll just be like, oh, that sounds silly. Nothing like that's true. But I've had some paranormal experiences that's led me to believe it's very true. And where else am I coming from? So we want to get into reptilian channeling. And so what the feeling I get is the reptilian isn't green. The skin of the reptilian is white. It has white scales on it. Yeah, the skin of the reptilian was white. Yeah, the skin of the reptilian. And so I go through channeling. I go through process where I channel, and most of the stuff that I channel is in paintings. I paint.